Let's turn attention now to Israel-Hamas war. United States Capitol Police officers in riot gear have clashed with dozens of demonstrators who gathered outside the Democratic National Committee, that's the DNC headquarters in Washington, to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. The protest was organized by 3 advocacy groups and held in an area near the U.S. Capitol. Lawmakers who were inside the DNC building said police had evacuated them from the area. U.S. Capitol Police said approximately 150 people were illegally and violently protesting. It said 6 officers were treated for injuries ranging from cuts to being pepper sprayed and punched. Israeli forces have remained inside Al-Shifa, the Gaza Strip's main hospital, after storming it for a second time in 24 hours. The IDF say they discovered AK-47s, hand grenades, military uniforms, and a laptop with a photo of a kidnapped Israeli soldier on it in the hospital. Israeli officials say they are opening an investigation into crimes committed during Hamas' October the 7th attack, including allegations of sexual violence. We have more details in this report. All right, we'll bring you that report in subsequently, but let's now turn to, let's now bring you a conversation on this. I'm joined now to discuss this latest development by the President Emeritus, Corporate Council on Africa, Stephen Hayes. He joins me from Washington, D.C. Good to have you join us.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Now, 5 weeks on, thereabouts, in this war, what's your thought on how things have progressed?
Well, they've progressed measurably in some ways. It depends on your perspective. I suppose from the Israelis, it's progressing slowly and in the direction they want to go. But I think in terms of human tragedy, it's just going the opposite way. It's you've got 2/3 of Gaza now who are homeless, according to the reports this morning here in Washington. That is going to be a tragedy still in the making. It's a tragedy now, but still to come. And there doesn't seem to be any peace in sight. The Israelis are going to move forward. And now that they're also starting to clear out the southern edges of Gaza that border Israel, it's going to be even more intense, and the population is going to be even more densely packed, which I think was also going to lead to further tragedies.
This has been more of a game of condemnation, a condemnation for Israel in terms of the attacks at the Al-Shifa hospital, and also condemnation for Hamas in terms of the attacks in Israel. But everyone seems to agree that there is no military solution to this. But has enough been done for negotiations on a ceasefire?
Well, I tend to agree with President Obama that there's no, I think his quotes was, "There's nobody in this war with clean hands." The progress towards a ceasefire, I think, is very, very slow. I think that the Israelis, at least certainly the Prime Minister Netanyahu, believes that there is a military solution. I think he may be one of the few that's believing that, and even the support for him is starting to fray within Israel. But I don't think a ceasefire is imminent right now. The Israelis are determined to move and determined to attack. Certainly Hamas deserves a lot of condemnation, not only for the attack, but the fact is that there was a good poll in University of Pennsylvania was taken that less than 1/3 of the population of Gaza supports Hamas. They've been as much captured the Gazans themselves by maintaining a terrible rule, as well as the Israelis and Egyptians have by keeping the Gazans, Palestinians within Gaza, contained. Essentially a giant prison camp. So not a lot of progress is being made. I don't see too much on the horizon. I don't know that the Arab nations are going to give any more support than they already have to the Palestinians. And I think this is going to just play itself out for a little bit longer.
But are you concerned that if this war drags on for too long and we continue to witness the deaths, especially of children, that we could see a rise in anti-Israel sentiment across the world, even from countries that currently support Israel?
Well, I think it's already on the rise, frankly, and certainly thousands of children have already died. By all accounts, 2/3 of the fatalities are women and children. And the last I read on the statistics on children was over 3,500 children have been killed already. So certainly there's going to be stronger anti-Israeli feelings. It's already manifesting globally. There also, I hope, will continue to be anti-Hamas feelings as well for the atrocities, I think, not only on October 7th, but also in the way that they've governed Gaza.
And is Israel doing enough to maybe reach out, maybe not even Israel, but Mahmoud Abbas also not doing enough as the leader of the Palestinian people to reach out also to Israel for negotiations, because it does seem as though Israel view Palestinians and Palestinians without any demarcation between Palestinians and Hamas?
Well, I think Israel does view that way, and Netanyahu has already said that he won't allow the Palestinian Authority to govern Gaza. So I don't think anybody's really particularly reaching out to the Palestinians or vice versa, at least vis-a-vis Israel. I think Netanyahu believes he can destroy Hamas. Perhaps he can destroy the party structure. I don't think he's going to be able to destroy the resistance. In fact, I think this is probably creating far greater resistance in the long term. So I think there's going to be a lot of problems ahead. I don't think that Israel or Palestine, the Palestinian Authority, are talking to each other very much. I think you've got to have intermediaries, and since Netanyahu has already said that he has no respect for the Palestinian Authority, there's not much to be talking right now.
Really devastating development there, especially for the number of people who have died on both sides. Thank you so much for talking to us, Stephen Hayes. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Same here.